This is News 10 Mornings.
Good morning to you. It is Wednesday. It's May 20th. I'm Kiba Arnold.
I'm Danielle, and we're just going to say it right from the start. We got Rob, we got Melissa. Yep. This is Kiba's last day here at News 10. We've got to keep the Kleenexes nearby. It's going to be a tough day.
Hard to believe.
It's going to be a tough day.
5 years, Dan.
Yeah,
Gosh.
yeah. But the thing that she said to me this morning was, the alarm clock went off. I'm not going to have to hear that.
I'm going to delete all of those alarm clocks this morning. Just get some rest.
You look chipper. You must have woke up and thought,
you know, you're on adrenaline.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on at home as far as packing up and getting ready to move, but it still hasn't quite hit me because today's a normal day. You get up, you go to work. I'm here right now.
Yeah.
I bet you tomorrow morning or maybe by Monday, it's like, wow.
Well, the other thing that I did want to point out is there's some other guys retiring from TV today, too. You're not retiring. You're just moving on.
I'm moving on.
This is a celebration we're focusing on. That other one tonight, don't worry about it.
Right, no, that's the big one.
No.
One.
Nobody's coming out of a cake for you this morning, though. I do have to tell you. Did you see that last night?
No, I didn't.
No, Bill Murray came out of a cake. Literally came out of a cake for David Letterman. I mean, we had frosting, everything. He hugged David, and David's suit was covered.
Just a mess.
Yeah,
I'll have to look for that.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to rethink what I had planned. How that buttercream
no coming out.
Can't do that, huh?
It's great. You know, the viewers have had the pleasure of waking up with you every morning for 5 years, but we have the pleasure of working with you behind the scenes. So it's been a real treat.
In the morning.
I know.
Yeah. And our producer's going nuts right now. Would you guys get on with it?
Weather.
Sorry, Tim.
Rob, your turn.
We'll introduce
It's going to be nice today. Back to Kiba. We'll keep talking more about where you're going and everything else later on.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so the weather, you know, it is a gloomy day here, but outside these walls, it's going to be a nice day. We do have some cloud cover out there, but for the most part, it's going to be another day very similar to the last two. We've got 76 for the high yesterday. I think we're going to be roughly in that territory again today. A little bit of cloud cover out there from the marine layer, 50s for valley spots, and we have kind of an unusual setup here for our weather. We're going to have another area of low pressure, this time in Southern California, but still the same thing. Wraparound moisture makes it ideal conditions for the mountains to get continued mountain rain and thunderstorms. And for valley spots, just an outside chance where we could see an isolated shower, but really, folks, for the most part, it's going to be a lot like yesterday. The high, still the same number, 76 degrees below average. We have slightly better odds to see some rain in the valley tomorrow and on Friday, so we'll talk more about that later on. Melissa.
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, everyone. We were saying we have sad tears today, right? Tears of joy for Kiba. We're certainly going to miss her. Let's talk about your commute. Kiba, you won't miss being out and about early in the morning, but I am going to focus on your Bay Area commute since you're headed in that direction. Right now, it is good news if you're traveling towards the Bay Bridge and over the Tracy Triangle. We'll detail those drive times in just a bit. So the lone trouble spot we're watching, eastbound Interstate 80 at Elkhorn, just got off the phone with the SAC TMC Traffic Management Center. They said it looks like a car actually hit one of the highway signs. That is eastbound 80 at Elkhorn. It's counter commute and still light enough traffic, not seeing any big delays. Don't forget about this. The Calvine closing from Power Inn to Elk Grove Florin should be wrapped up by 5 o'clock tonight. We'll keep you posted. Keeping you posted on your drive times pays to rise and shine early, at least a little less time typically spent in traffic. It doesn't start to build until after 5:30, typically halfway through the week. Interstate 5 looking great from Elk Grove. No major headaches to report right now. Interstate 5 from Natomas as well. Back to you.
All right, Melissa, it's 4:33, and we're following a developing story in Sacramento County where sheriff's deputies are investigating the death of an 11-month-old baby. It all happened just after 9 o'clock last night. This was at a home along Wright Street. That's near Marconi Avenue in Sacramento County. Let's check in with News 10's Haley Gunther. She's at the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. She has the latest information. Good morning, Haley.
Good morning, Dan. Well, Sacramento County child abuse detectives were called out to the scene. They responded after that call came in, and it's important to note that that is standard protocol with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office when any child passes away under the age of 14. It's just a very tragic situation. We're here at the coroner's office where we are expecting an autopsy as soon as this morning. Now, officials tell us deputies responded to a residence on Wright near Marconi, and the caller was reporting that an 11-month-old was unresponsive. The child was taken to the hospital, and that's where they were declared deceased. Officials say they will not know if the death is considered suspicious until the coroner's office can conduct that autopsy, as well as a medical exam. We'll, of course, stay on this story and bring you the very latest as these details just continue to emerge and detectives continue to work the case. Dan?
All right. Thanks, Haley. We should learn more throughout the day. Thanks.
Happening today, environmentalists are expected to protest protest at Nestle's South Sacramento bottling plant. They are demanding Nestle stop using California water during the state's drought. Environmentalists say Nestle uses 80 million gallons of water a year from local sources. They plan to deliver a petition asking them to stop bottling water here. It has been signed by more than 500,000 Californians. City officials say the company is only taking a fraction of the available water in Sacramento. Nestle says they are not even among the city's top 10 water users. Protests are also planned at their Southern California plant.
California American Water is hosting a community meeting tonight to answer questions about how their customers can achieve the conservation targets. The Sacramento Water District also plans to revise its mandatory water rationing plan. They are offering free items so that you can monitor your water use. Things like a shower timer and some garden hoses that restrict the flow, all part of the effort to achieve the state-mandated 20% reduction. Water officials say they have reduced their water use by about 17% since last year. That meeting is set for 7 o'clock tonight. It's going to be held at the Foothill Community Center. The address is 5510 Diablo Drive in Sacramento.
Farmers are meeting with the state officials today at the Capitol, where they are expected to voluntarily cut their water use. Under the deal, they would take either less river water for irrigation or leave a quarter of their crops unplanted. Farmers in the Sacramento-San Joaquin Valley have some of the state's oldest water rights. The State Water Board's executive director has to approve the deal before it is final.
4:36, some other top stories that we're following for you this morning. In Natomas, 100,000 people have to share one ambulance, and last night a lot of the people living there came together to try to change that. News 10's Dave Marquez has more on their efforts to push for additional emergency services.
Well, finally, some good news, at least partially, for Natomas residents who've been battling to get more fire protection up in the North Natomas area, particularly an ambulance at Station 30, and others are very much wanting to see another truck at Station number 43. One after another last night, people pointing out to the council that right now, Natomas, with 100,000 people, that's 20% of the city's population, has just over 7% of the city's fire protection. Some of them making some very emotional appeals.
I couldn't imagine, if you put yourself in my position that day, standing over a loved one, and you lose them because you don't have the proper response.
We lose 5,000 calls a year to outside agencies. At $1,400 a transport, I'm not understanding why this is even an issue. These ambulances fund themselves.
It's our turn, it's Natomas's turn. And you cannot turn your back on him now. I did not turn my back on you. In fact, I led for you on fire.
Now, the council finally voting for a motion that would include the money in the budget when they vote on the general budget to include positions for 2 dual-role paramedics for Station number 30. No word yet on any progress for a truck at Station number 43, but still for residents who've been concerned about EMS services, about response times in North Natomas, this is certainly some good news. They'll carry on the rest of their battle, but for now, certainly this is looking promising for increased protection for people up in Natomas and especially North Natomas. At City Hall, Dave Marquez, News 10.
From Michael Brown to Freddie Gray, we have seen protests nationwide calling for an end to police brutality. News 10's Ty Chandler breaks down a series of laws being proposed in California, all aimed at policing.
There is a push statewide to provide more scrutiny and transparency for officers who use deadly force, and there are 20 bills aimed at policing working their way through the legislature as we speak. Assemblyman Kevin McCarty is the author of AB 86, a bill that would require a special prosecutor from the state attorney general's office to investigate and prosecute officer-involved shootings. Now, just last week, a Sacramento police officer shot and killed a man holding a BB gun in East Sac. This case will be subject to an independent review from the district attorney's office, a process only reinstated earlier this year. But McCarty says not every county in the state has this type of independent review.
I'm glad that we have a new system out there, but some other jurisdictions may not have it. And so having a uniform approach statewide would, I think, would be an improvement upon the current system.
McCarty's bill is currently in committee. Some of the other bills focus on body cameras or doing away with the grand jury process for officer-involved shootings. In the newsroom, I'm Ty Chandler, News 10.
Air quality continues to be a concern in parts of San Joaquin and Stanislaus counties. This is all because of a large fire that's been burning there. It was a Tuesday afternoon that the 40-acre fire broke out at Agra Trading in Tracy. Now, Agra is a storage facility for organic materials like almond shells, walnut shells, and peach bits, that sort of thing. It's the same place where a fire broke out on Sunday and then again on Monday. Now, the areas that seem to be most impacted are Lathrop, Manteca, and Modesto, but a lot of other spots might notice the bad air, so keep in mind these air quality issues.
Now to a consumer alert. It's become the biggest recall ever here in the United States. Airbag manufacturer Takata is doubling its recall this morning for 11 top automakers. In all, nearly 1 in every 4 cars on the road needs its airbag replaced. The problem, well, these bags can explode with too much force, sometimes shattering a metal inflator, and that will send metal shrapnel flying right towards the driver. Here's how you can tell if your call is impacted by this recall. All you have to do is go to the website safercar.gov. Once you're there, type in your VIN or your vehicle identification number. There's also a link for you for this information. Go to our website, news10.com.
It's real easy. I checked it out this morning for mine.
You need to do it.
Yeah, just get that VIN
Yours
number. That's
is
the
cleared?
key. I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm all right. Knock on wood.
Right.
Money headlines now. Credit card companies are being very cautious. A survey of 1,000 adults found more than half who'd had a credit card charge declined or flagged because of possible fraud. And this was when it was a valid purchase. High-profile data breaches at major retailers have affected millions of customers, and banks are very motivated to stop fraudulent charges because when it happens, they're on the hook financially, not the credit card holder.
If you are traveling and want to reach your destination on time, there are apparently a few airports you should avoid. A travel rewards site analyzed airport on-time arrivals over the last 10 summers. The 3 New York airports topped the list for the late arrivals. So at Newark Liberty, just 64% of flights arrived on time. In New York's LaGuardia and JFK airports fared only just slightly better. San Francisco, Boston rounded out the top 5 list for worst on-time performance. Sacramento didn't make the best or the worst.
Yes, we're right in the middle. We like it. We're in the middle.
Busy
We're
airports.
in the middle. Yeah. No, you're right. New York is always crazy. How about our roads? Are they crazy this morning, Melissa Crowley?
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Oh,
I tried.
You tried. Our last day.
That's pretty good. I have woohoo tutorials if you need. No, you're going to be great. Let's talk about conditions on the roadway. Not too shabby overall. Tracy Traffic Outlook. So how we do this, we take months worth of traffic information, average it together, and there is a variance day to day in times of when the peak commute starts to build. 5:30 typically over the Tracy Triangle is when you see that morning commute start to heat up. Of course, we have the air quality issues there, but I'm told by CHP that Almond area fire is not on the roadway, not causing any traffic delays. 6 a.m. very busy in terms of traffic delays. Company on the roads, that is 7 a.m. So 5:30 to 7 typically is what we look at Wednesdays. Looking ahead, not bad at 3:30. By 4:30 things have really heated up. 5:30 is the peak portion of busy commute status if you're traveling back over the Tracy Triangle. Right now, if you're traveling, plenty of company westbound 205 at Mountain House. Cuba, I think they're headed to work so they can, watch on live stream your final broadcast. They're rather emotional this morning. Back to you.
I'm not sure about that one, Melissa. Thanks. Yeah. Coming up after the break, we need a good rain dance out there. So another mild day. There's a very slight chance that we see a sprinkle.
Geez, have we heard this tune before?
Sprinkle.
Yeah.
A slight chance of a sprinkle.
Yeah. Rob's got the forecast. That's straight ahead here on News 10 Mornings. 446, we're talking drought, and Governor Brown, as well as 11 leaders from all across the globe, have signed an agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The signature taking place yesterday, and the goal is to reduce emissions in each of the countries by as much as 95%. That would go below the 1990 levels. The target date is 2050. Among the leaders who signed the agreement, representatives from Germany, Brazil, and the United Kingdom.
A new poll is out that shows that 9 out of 10 Californians consider the drought, yes, a serious problem. The field poll released yesterday breaks down the numbers by region. In the Central Valley, you got 70% of the people there consider the drought an extremely serious problem. 66% support the governor's water restriction plan. The issue is pretty even along party lines. You got 73% of California Democrats. They support the governor's plan, and 54% of Republicans are in favor of it.
And as we go to Rob, 9 out of 10 Californians believe there's a serious drought problem. That one who doesn't, McFly is the name. McFly? Come on.
Okay, so for the 1 out of 10, take a look at this. Okay, there's no snow. There should be several feet of snow in the mountains, and there's almost none. It keeps melting. We have almost no snowpack. The water levels are continuing to go down in the local lakes and reservoirs when they still should be going up. So, an opinion poll is great, but the fact remains is that we will not see those the water levels for the lakes and reservoirs go up until October, November, and there's very little water compared to what we expect for this time of year. And as you can see, there's almost no snow. 52 degrees in Sacramento at the moment. It's going to be kind of a quiet day. We still have some rain chances out there. They're much better when you get to higher elevations, but we still have a chance where we could see a few isolated showers closer to the edges of the valley yet once again today. This has been the same forecast for Monday, for Tuesday, and again today. There's a slight breeze through the Delta, and we're seeing a little bit of a breeze in Sacramento and Stockton. So what we have is kind of a weird setup, to be honest with you. We had this area of low pressure that was hanging out for a while, some wraparound moisture. We're seeing a new one develop down to the south. Again, the same situation. Then we've got another low that's starting to develop out in the Pacific. They all work to create the same kind of situation. 70-degree highs for the valley spots through the rest of this week. For mountains, continued threat of showers and thunderstorms. Today, they increase really widespread for Thursday and also for Friday, but the chances go up just ever so slightly for valley spots on Thursday and also for Friday, where the setup's just a little bit better, where we could see some of those isolated showers. 73 for Placerville later on today. For the Tahoe Basin, we're looking at, again, continued threat of showers and thunderstorms. The snow level right around 9,000 feet and up, so it's not really a great setup to see any kind of snowfall, at least at more measurable locations, maybe at the tops of the mountains, but that's really about it. As far as the rest of the forecast goes, it's going to be a nice day. It's going to be slightly warmer for most valley spots than yesterday, and again, ever so slightly, instead of 10% today for some isolated showers, it goes up to about 20% for Thursday and Friday. We're clearing up and warming up through the weekend and well into next week. Melissa?
Good morning, Rob. Good morning, everyone. You're halfway through the week, so there's some consolation there. And your Bay Bridge commute, we're looking pretty good all the way towards the Bay. Interstate 80 included. Oakland, San Jose, no delays. If you're traveling soon to the Bay Area like Kiva, it's a good commute, at least today. Let's talk about conditions elsewhere. Live drive. Good morning to Jordan, our exceptional photojournalist. He is traveling the 80 corridor, so we're in that construction zone, top of town, eastbound Interstate 80. That construction lasting, we're told, still through July 3rd before westbound traffic starts. He's headed to check out reports of a car crash with minor injuries eastbound 80 at Elkhorn. That's before the Greenback exit. We have reports that a car actually hit a freeway sign, so we'll be getting more details on that. Headed to that eastbound 80 at Elkhorn. So thanks, Jordan, for a look at current driving conditions top of town. As we take a closer look, traffic light and not causing any delays. That accident reported eastbound 80 at Elkhorn. Now, if you're traveling Interstate 80, Yolo Causeway, so far so good. Towards the airport, no issues. Follow me on Twitter at Melissa Crowley if that changes. This is scheduled to reopen at 5 p.m. The stretch of Calvine that's been closed just east of Highway 99. Calvine at Power Inn, all the way to Elk Grove, Florin. And a snapshot of the rest of our roads. Not too shabby. 99 at Mac included. Still looking good. Cap City Freeway, Modesto, and Galt off to a good start. If you're traveling south, like all the way towards Disneyland, join Rob and I. We're going to be live there to kick off the 24-hour celebration. We're talking about Disneyland 60th because it's News 10's 60th anniversary as well. Both celebrating pretty big milestones. What that means for you, the viewer takeaway, lots of treats will be available this year, including, how about some diamond ski? We tried to win one for you in advance, but we didn't quite have any luck. As well as a glass slipper. You can win a tailgate party, a Cars Land, and you can also win some other prizes. Rob and I will share just what those are. We'll tell you what's new as well. They're unveiling a couple new attractions, and Rob's going to have some tips on how to beat the lines while you're waiting for that. We've dug deep into our research, guys. 18 rides when it first opened in 1955.
You got to work a little harder to hide the disappointment that you've been assigned this.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I took off my ears. Back to you.
Thank you, Melissa.
All right, let's talk better jobs now. If you are in school or looking to get back in the workforce, now is the time to start looking for those seasonal jobs.
Terry Carpenter from the Sacramento Employment and Training Agency says people looking for jobs need to ramp up their efforts before June. That's when employers want people already up and in place.
We have our Sacramento Works job posting system where we have over 600 jobs that have just been posted, offering 900 plus opportunities.
While managers hiring for seasonal positions are usually hiring quickly, Carpenter says you shouldn't treat the application process any less seriously. One way to stand out, personalizing that resume and cover letter for each specific position for which you apply.
4:52 is your time. Coming up on News 10 Mornings. If you enjoy helping people, this might be the job for you.
We've got Who's Hiring next on News 10 Mornings, the 4:30 edition.
We are following some breaking news right now. An Amber Alert has been issued for a child abduction. This happened around 1:30 this morning.
A 6-year-old little girl over in San Jose in Santa Clara County. We know the name is Ava Berillon, and we also know that the suspect in this case is Maurice Cheadle, a 39-year-old man possibly driving a 2002 dark-colored Chevrolet. We've even got a license plate, 6 VUS 072. Now, the request came out about 25 minutes ago.
Okay, so again, Amber Alert has been issued for that little girl. Possibly the suspect is driving a 2002 dark-colored Chevrolet Cruze. If you see that car out there, call police right away. So it's a little girl, little Hispanic girl who is being described as a black male, Maurice Cheadle. If you know him, if you know anything about this, you are urged to call police right away.
Now we want to talk about jobs. Today's Who's Hiring.
Yeah, we have St. Joseph's Medical Center in Stockton. They are looking to hire a nurse clinician, a nursing degree, and current RN license with the state. That will be required. To apply, you got to visit dignityhealthcareers.org.
4:56, and as we mentioned at the top of the show, today we're saying goodbye to this young lady here. Ms. Kiba Arnold is leaving for the Bay Area. Where are you going?
I'm going to KTVU Channel 2. They're actually located in Oakland.
Yep.
So I'm trying to figure out exactly where all the spots are to go and to visit restaurants. People here have been giving me plenty of ideas of restaurants.
Well, where you are, they've got a lot of restaurants. Jack London Square's got a lot of restaurants.
Right, and I've noticed they've built up that area there. So that's what I'll be going starting in mid-June.
Yeah.
Channel 2.
Yeah, and people will see you at the 5 p.m. and the 7 p.m.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. and
4
7 p.m.
and 7 p.m.
Right?
Yeah, the new show will be launching at 4 p.m. So no more alarm clock. My shift will start at 1 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll have to kind of readjust my body, but I don't think it'll be that hard.
And you're planning to live out in the Walnut Creek area?
That's where I'm looking, the Walnut Creek area. Dan, that's our selfie that we took this morning.
We're getting a lot of tweets from people that are hearing the news and they want to wish you well. Dan actually sent this up, and I wanted to just say what a treat it's been to work with you these last 5 years. Hard to say goodbye, but certainly very excited for you too. So tweet us and Facebook us your messages.
Did the 5 years go fast for you, Kiba?
You know, it's hard to say. Not really.
Yeah.
You guys have been there, with me from day one, and
lots of memories. This one from Rob.
It's not real yet.
Yeah.
This is what I do every day, and this, you guys know, this becomes your second family. We're here so much, and we work so closely together. So I don't know. I don't quite feel it just yet.
Hasn't hit you yet.
No, it's not. Hit
She's holding up well. That's the one we got to look out for. You watch. You watch.
It's tears of joy.
6:59 and 50 she'll be. Come on back for 2 more hours of News 10 Morning.